Hey, good morning from Manuel Antonio Beach here in Costa Rica. Just getting a morning walk in. Sorry about the wave crashing noise. I'm not using a microphone or anything like that, so just kind of going into the phone here. Just wanted to give an update as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. This is a little bit of a wellness trip for me where I just wanted to go somewhere warm in the winter. Of course, I live in Canada, so right now in January it's very cold out. And first of all, I just wanted to clear up that this is not one of those look at me videos, look what I'm doing, look how great this is. It's more about saying how easy this was to do from an affordability perspective and just from getting out and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Months ago, I looked ahead at my schedule and realized that I had a stretch of days off of work coming up in January that it would not cost me any vacation days, wouldn't cost me any bank time, anything like that from my regular day job, and I could just sort of be gone for a few days if I wanted to. So I took advantage of that, but also just the fact that booking so early, I was able to fly twice as far for half the cost is basically what happens. I found a really great deal on a flight that I kind of couldn't pass up on and took advantage. So that was sort of a no-brainer for me, although there was a lot of fear involved. My brain kept telling me, no, you can't do that. No, that's crazy. No, it's Costa Rica. That's really far away. Why do you think you can just go to a beach in the middle of January? Do you think you're Mr. Fancy Pants? And it's like, no, I took a little bit of money and bought myself a flight and then booked myself some Airbnbs, which are changing the world, to be honest with you. I mean, it's so much better than the hotel industry in a lot of ways. I mean, hotels are great and they're fun and they're luxurious and all of that, but when you're trying to do something on a budget, Airbnb is just an unbelievably cool way of doing it. So I was able to find a place in Costa Rica for about $30 Canadian per day, and I'm only here for 5 days, so it really didn't amount to that much as far as, rooming costs go. And then it's just a matter of whether or not you absolutely need to eat in fancy restaurants, or if you can just kind of go with the flow and do what you do. For me, a lot of days I do one meal or two meals, and I'm really not a food person. So some people would say, well, if I go on vacation, I want to go to the fancy restaurants and I want to do all of the expensive things. That's luckily, I guess, for me, that's not me. I'm just as well. Yesterday, my lunch was a can of sardines and some brain octane. So it's pretty simple and quite cheap. So if you're willing to, come down here and go to the supermarkets, and also my Airbnb has a kitchen so I can cook some things if I want to. If you're willing to sort of operate in that way, it's a lot easier to do than you think. And then even transportation, I landed in the Central Valley, they call it here in Costa Rica, in the city of San Jose, which is where the airport is, or just outside San Jose. And I ended up landing late at night, so I stayed at an Airbnb there for about $23 a night. The people who were operating the house were the kindest, sweetest people I've met so far, and they came and picked me up at the airport, and then the next morning, it was about 8 hours later, they dropped me off at the pickup point to take what's called Interbus, and it was $35 Canadian, and it's a shuttle service, so it's like one of those private vans that fits about 10 people, except for I just bought the economy ticket and jumped in with a different group of people that were going in the same direction. For the 2.5-hour drive, it took 4 hours because we had to make stops and things like that, but what do I care? I'm checking out the jungle on the way, on the drive from the middle of the country to the coast. And then I end up here in Manuel Antonio, which is just south of I'm not sure if it's a city or a town, but it's called Quepos. And just I've got 4 days to just sort of sit here and read and contemplate and think. I took the public bus to get from my place, which is full of locals and just people going about their daily lives. It's quite, I guess, for lack of a better term, it's somewhat of a poor area, although depending on how you look at it, it's actually a very rich area because people are very happy and they're just sort of doing their thing every day, despite the fact that they don't have what Western world success might be defined as in Canada and the US. So it's it's just an area where it's not luxurious or anything like that, but I jump on a public bus with locals in the morning, and it costs 335 colones, which is it's less than $1. It was super cheap. It takes 7 or 8 minutes on the bus. You basically drive down the side of the mountain, and next thing you know, you're at the beach. So here I am doing that. On the way here on the bus this morning, I took a little bit of a listen to a guy named Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I'd never actually heard him speak before, but he was talking about some stuff, and it kind of made me think about fear a little bit, and I guess was the idea or the thinking behind creating a quick video. And he said, stop living your life from a place of what they did to you or what you did, and start living your life from a place of who you are. And I think it's really important to sort of relate all of these fears that we have about going somewhere or doing something, and well, I can't because of this, I can't because of that, and realize that you can do whatever you want to do. So for now, I will say, as they taught me last night here in Costa Rica, the answer for everything: hello, goodbye, thank you, yes, it was very good, pura vida.